вот уже треть жителей США в возрасте от 18 до 24 лет верят, что Земля плоская, а почти 15% американцев в возрасте за 30 с ними согласны.
Никому не нравится чувство, что мы находимся на маленьком шарике, который несется сквозь Вселенную. Да, закроют программы с астрофизическим и космическим уклоном. Оставшиеся естественные науки, как биология, геология, океанология, археология и другие, должны быть полностью обновлены.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat!
He's an interesting guy, man, and, you know, he believes it, so. Kyrie, the Earth is flat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, whatever.
Earth is flat, that's news.
That's news. There we go.
You're not listening to Truth Frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with the mainstream scientific community. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is adjusting his watch because according to space.com, the rotation of the Earth is slowing down due to the moon getting further away. Just 1.4 billion years ago, the Earth was spinning so fast, a day was only 18 hours. Hopefully, we will finally have enough time in a day to finally do all those chores we never have time to do. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, you're not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube and you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And if it is not June 5th, 2018, you're listening to a rerun. So try listening to it live if you can. It's more fun. Quote of the day from the Peanut Gallery is not from the Peanut Gallery. It's just this quote. It's my default quote if I don't have a quote. It's no matter where you go, there you are. That's from Buckaroo Banzai. Great movie from the 1980s. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you check it out. The Mark Sargent 2018 Flat Earth Challenge is in effect. This is my personal declaration of war from Flat Earth against mainstream science. I, Mark Sargent, hereby put forth a challenge to any university, foreign or domestic, to loan me a NASA-approved self-contained spacesuit. Put me in a vacuum chamber and pull the switch. For more information on this, please check out Flat Earth Clues 13, The Lost Nail. And today will be, I'm sorry, there was a quote, but it just came in at the last second. Sorry. The quote from the Peanut Gallery, better late than ever. The man with a new idea is a crank until that idea succeeds. That's from Mark Twain. Good point. Excellent point. Flat Earthers, yeah, they are absolutely crazy. Unless Flat Earth is real. And then, well, they're not geniuses, but at least they were right. Phone number to call in tonight. I will rattle off the subject matter expert list. Phone number is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998 or 720-897-6111. Or if you're in the UK, dial whatever country code to get here, and then 44203-393-2871. And if you're calling just to listen, hint, hint to people out there. I can already see one of them. He's calling in just to listen, but I'm going to pick him up anyway. Why not, right? The number is 641-793-7117. So there you go. The subject matter experts we have had so far, remember, tonight is just a call-in show, so you're not going to get subject matter experts, but I like to recruit them when I can. United States Navy missile instructor, United States Air Force navigator, a U.S. Marine Corps sniper instructor, a Navy submarine chief, an Army artillery radar operator, an Australian intelligence officer, an American flight instructor, an industrial engineer specializing in valves and seals, a career surveyor of 32 years, an international shipping expert, a corporate travel agent, an air traffic controller, United States Army master gunner, an aviation and ground training combat expert, a USDA surveyor of 27 years, 32nd degree Mason, etheric science researcher, a commercial airline captain, a commercial airline co-pilot, an industrial vacuum expert, a merchant marine, an Army air traffic controller, a Navy navigator, and a Navy electronic warfare technician. Did I already say merchant marine? Yeah, I already said merchant marine. All those people have either called into the show or they've sent me a testimonial or whatever. And none of them have backed down from their claim. In fact, I had the surveyor on that was with USDA for 27 years. He came back on and doubled down on his position with enthusiasm, I might add. That was a lot of fun. So, with that being said, let's go to the phone lines. I'm going to pick up, let's pick up 419, even though I know this is one of those listeners that just is calling in. He's using the wrong phone number, but that's fine. We'll try it anyway. 419 area code. You're on with Strange World. Are you listening or are you talking?
Hey, what's going on, Mark? No, hey, I swear I tried listening to that call-in number, but you just said it too fast for me.
It's all right. Next time. It's not a big deal. And just so you guys know, this particular gentleman, he is actually welding as he's listening to the show. That's why you're hearing that crackling sound.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I was going to send you a clip to it, but on the Greg Gutfield show this week, and they were talking about Jeff Bezos wants to send people up to the moon and, like pretty much inhabited the moon. I just kind of thought it was weird how they were mentioning that. And like one of the guys were like, did we even go? And stuff like that. I'll send you the clip.
Nice. Yeah. Send me that. Send me that clip. That'd be great. Please do.
But yeah, unfortunately, Mark, I'm working like a dog, so you can't
it's okay.
Put me back on mute.
I will put you back on mute.
I'll catch that number again.
Okay, no worries, man. You're blowing up my headphones right now. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to mention, geez, the most important thing of all, and I know we're going to talk about it on Patricia Steer's show, Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, tomorrow, and that time may be changed because I'm doing something right in the middle of the show. So it's going to be either before or after the normal start time, just so you guys know. But this weekend, starting Friday, I am going to be going down to a meetup in Los Angeles, and you guys can look this up. In fact, the meetup is Arcadia. So look up Flat Earth Meetup Arcadia. And I'm going to be there with Patricia Steer and Jaron from Jaronism, I think, is going to be there. I know Rob Skiba is going to be there. Nathan Thompson, I think, is going to be there, and a whole bunch of other people. It's going to be at Arcadia Park. So for more information, just go to Flat Earth Meetup Arcadia. And it'll be a lot of fun, and people are sending me messages. Hang on. Let's see here. This one's from, and there's requests. I will read that in a second. I'll read that during my next phone call. I swear to God, I will. But anyway, I'm going to be there. And then more importantly, the reason I'm down there is because National Geographic is going to follow me. There's a small skeptic society out of Los Angeles run by a guy, I believe his name is Jim Underdown. You can look him up. Never heard that name before, but it's an interesting name, Underdown. And he's going to be doing a long-distance photography test out at the Salton Sea, which is due east of Los Angeles. It takes a couple hours to get there. But if you can make it, it's going to be at dawn on Sunday morning, which would be the 9th. So check it out. I'm definitely going to be at the test. I'm being flown in for this test. I know Rob's going to be there. I'm pretty sure Jaron said he was going to be at this test, and Patricia's going to be at the test. We're all going to be there. So you should hang out. Although, remember, Salton City is a pretty small town. I think there's one hotel in the entire town. So if you're going to spend the night somewhere near there, you probably want to go north to Indio or Palm Desert or Palm Springs, just to let you know. And let's go to our next caller. This one's going to be 612 area code. 612, you're on with Strange World right now. What are we talking about?
Hey, Mark, Andrew. So I tried calling to Jaronism Raw some time ago and asked the same question, but the response that he gave was actually proven to be, demonstrably wrong. So I'm going to ask you the same question.
Sure.
Just trying to make it more on a philosophical sense, because, the whole rhetoric on flat Earth and the globe Earth has been done to death. I just want to ask quite simply, what is your end game in all this?
My end game is to change the world, literally. In the beginning, I had no end game because I thought I was going to be shut down literally in month 1. So for me, and some people are saying, "Oh, you want to be famous?" It's like, no, I don't want to be famous. I want to be right, because you can't put a price tag on that.
Because I think with Jaron, I think he didn't really have an end game, which kind of raises a red flag with me typically, because then I think you're just kind of in it for the side hustle and the pseudo celebrity status from the fringe flat Earth community. But with you being right, or wanting to kind of put the truth out there, could you be more specific? What result makes you happy to the point where you can say, okay, my work is done, I can move on to
yeah. No, that's a good question. How could I die happy in this community? When it flips, when the numbers get so high that in terms of the popularity of this thing and how it's trending, that the balance shifts, not necessarily against science, but to where people start questioning a lot more than just the shape of the world. Because that's what I put at the end of the video. So question everything. Don't take anything for granted that you hear from men, and not just men in lab coats, anything in general. We've all, had auto mechanics that we trusted that were dead wrong. And I dare to say there are teachers that are dead wrong. I remember
that's a perfect analogy, actually. And I just wanted to make sure that you were being consistent. You don't trust science, you don't trust NASA, but you trust your doctor. Do you trust your banker?
No. I trust
really?
Banks. No. I like for doctors' example. I'm sorry, but I can't find out where the general healthcare industry ends and big pharma begins now. Of course. If you break the basic stuff, if you break your leg, fine. If I had to have my appendix out, it needed to come out, absolutely. But when it comes, the healthcare industry is so influenced by money now. They have been influenced for some time, that I have a problem with that. I do. And what was the other thing? Oh, I'm sorry. In banks,
I tend to trust doctors.
I'm sorry, what?
I tend to trust doctors. I tend to trust doctors. I tend to trust mechanics. I tend to trust scientists, because, I hear a lot about it, science is scientism, it's a religion. Not really, no, because I think it's more of a matter of trust. And I think flat earthers, try to false equivocate trust with faith, which really isn't the case. I trust in subject matter experts that, have done the work, who know more than me. And, I'd like to strive to be more, and I'd like to look into it myself. And I think a lot of people have looked into it. And as much as the numbers have gone up for the flat Earth, I think they've kind of reversed and kind of gone down a little bit because of what we're seeing with third parties with no dog in the fight.
What numbers are you talking about? We just caught Donald Trump 2 days ago. Literally caught him.
Right, and I see like there's other signs like Jaronism. His views and likes are going down, for instance, as well as some others. SpaceX has been trending a lot more, especially since the Falcon Heavy launch, which finally gave a live shot of the Earth, not just a composite, not just some stitched together, not a painting, but an actual live shot of the Earth.
So you absolutely believe that the SpaceX footage is gospel, absolutely 100% true, could not be faked in any way, shape, or form, even though that car is impossible. Impossible. That car couldn't, the composite materials in that car would have been destroyed at that altitude. Under those conditions.
Well, argument from incredulity is a fallacy. That said, you threw out gospel, which again tries to tie me back to faith. But no, again, I trust in what they're doing. I trust what they're showing, unless it's proven, absolutely wrong. And I've seen the videos that kind of pick that, footage apart. But for every anomaly that comes up, it can be explained. And it just comes back to, there's a lot of assertion without evidence out there, and I want to kick it back to the end game with you.
Sure.
What result ultimately makes you happy?
Oh,
you talk about it's going to be more popular, it's going to overtake, more people are going to believe in flat Earth than not, but I don't think that's ever going to happen with the advent of third-party, space agencies, other than NASA, that continue to show that, hey, what's been said over the past 500 years is actually true.
I disagree, and opinions vary. So as far as the end game goes for me, I'm just going to keep plugging away until the numbers all of a sudden start creating.
Well, what if that never happens?
I have faith that it
never
does.
happens?
It may not, but I'm still doing it.
That's faith, and that's different from trust. So I guess at least we can understand the difference there.
Sure. Anything else?
Nope, that would about do it. Thanks so much for taking the call. Thank you for your time.
All right. Moving on to 443 area code out of, I believe, could be Maryland. I'm not sure. 443, you're on the air live with Strange World right now. Really going to mix Star Trek with
I just made that up right now. I just made that up right now. Like, what could I say as an opening line? Hey,
Good.
How you doing? Big fan. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Nathan Oakley and his crew. I don't know if you heard about his discussion with Metabunk Mick West. Are you familiar with Metabunk and Mick West?
Oh, yes, I am. Yeah. Matter of fact, I covered the Trailer Park Boys because they're one of the guys on their Bubbles, I believe, is a big fan of Mick West. So they talked about flat Earth and they brought Mick West into it. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Have you heard about at all Nathan Oakley's show on Sunday with Mick West?
Mick, no, I didn't. Unfortunately, I was too busy trying to get ready for this meetup down in California. What happened?
All right. Well, I highly encourage you to check it out, and everybody else as well. Mick called in, and it was just absolutely a train wreck. It was an absolute train wreck. If anybody, it would just be an absolute miracle.
Wow.
But it was incredible.
Can you give me? How long was he on?
Okay, so he was on for I think probably about 40 minutes or so, and Nathan finally pinned him up against the wall, and you could hear a pin drop. Nathan said, "I want you to justify your use of R. Where do you get it? Do you assume R? Dead? Yeah, the radius of Earth.
Oh, okay.
So in your calculations, you assume R, don't you? Dead silent, and you could barely hear him. And Mick said, "Yes."
Really?
And it was just it was the concession that was just like, holy cow.
Wow.
He just gave the game away. It was incredible. It was so incredible. But
That's
anyway,
amazing. You're the first person to tell me
hey.
about this, so that's fantastic.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, check it out. Hey, I haven't seen this yet, and I've been curious about it. Science can't really live without an equation, and I'm curious if you've seen or come across an equation that represents the horizon rising to the eye level. I mean, wouldn't you think that there is?
You mean wouldn't that be based
there
on?
Would be something out there.
There is a little.
No,
like the curvature calculator that's on the internet. That one where you plug in your the standing height of the eyes of whoever's looking at the horizon, and then it figures out how far you can see. That one.
Well, no, that would be the one that Nathan Oakley just tore a hole in with.
You mean like a real one?
No, what I mean is like even for us, we know that the horizon rises to our eye level as we ascend in elevation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious as to why there might not be an equation that represents that, even if it's it would be real. We believe it. It's true. It happens. But that was just something in my mind as I've listened to so much of this stuff for the past 9 months. That was a question of mine. Like, I wonder if there's an equation out there. Along with that, have you seen or do you know what the best way to determine like, say, for instance, if you're standing on the beach and you take a picture or a panoramic even of the ocean, so you've got this huge flat line in front of you.
Right.
What's the way to determine the scale that you're looking at? In your, like, is it going to be 10 miles that you're looking at? Is it going to be 20 miles, 30?
You mean, are we talking forward and back or side to side?
Right. Side to side, your peripheral. Like if you took a picture.
Unfortunately, human beings, and I do actually have an opinion on this, human beings have such a horrible sense of scale when it comes to determine, especially if it's a generic horizon. The average person couldn't even, I mean, I know I could use the excuse, this is why they have scopes on rifles, because people have a really, really bad sense of that. But when it comes to side, people have really, really bad, I couldn't even begin to tell you. I used the example from the Disneyland ride, Pirates of the Caribbean, which is, if you've ever had the pleasure of being on it, when you go out to that last part where they take you out into that harbor, right? And it's gorgeous. It's absolutely amazing. You can see that ship off in the distance, and you're in a building, but when you look at that ship, you have no idea how far away it is. I mean, other than you're in a building, it's like, well, it can't be 5 miles away, but you don't know if it's 50 yards. You don't know if it's 100 yards. You don't know if it's 500 yards. And that's just wood and paint and a few lights. When it comes to side horizon stuff, unless there are land masses close by in the distance, there's no way to tell. I don't know if there is a standard. I suppose there's something online. There's got to be. It's like if you're looking at a boat, but the thing is, where do you draw the partitions on to the left and to the right of you? Because you got to draw them somewhere. Otherwise, you're talking about more than a 180 degree field of view. It's like, then it gets frustrating. So that's my long-winded answer.
I suppose that would be true too, because you would then have to bring in what you were talking about in terms of even the height of the observer, and then assuming that if you're 6 foot, then you've got a 3 mile vision.
Right.
So I suppose that all goes into it as well. Now that we talk about it. Yeah. Last thing, the great equalizer, in my opinion, as we talk with heliocentrists on this matter, is scale. And so we can't detect motion because of the scale of the Earth. It's just too big and it's moving so slow. You just can't detect motion. You can't detect curvature because it's just too big.
Right.
You can't determine parallax because it's just too far.
Right.
The other thing that I think is something that we need to call BS on, and that is the degree in terms of the arc, as we talk about, the circumference of the Earth being 360 degrees. And so for every 69 miles, you get 1 degree, right?
Okay.
Right?
I'll say,
so,
I hear you.
Okay. So part of my thought process in this is if we're talking about distance and we look out and we look at 30 miles, you and I know that is simply diminishing in size due to perspective. But the heliocentric model will say, no, it's diminishing in size because it's going over the curve. Well, what also has to be true as you're looking at that object is it also has to be angling away from you. It has to be. Except when you and I look at it, we see it at 90 degrees. We don't see it. But then they'll say, oh, no, it's not at 90 degrees, but the degree is so slight that you can't see it. So there's another aspect of where scale trumps and equalizes everything so that you just give up. You just I remember thinking this as a kid too, and I remember hearing this, that the Earth is so big, you're like an ant on a ball and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's kind of like the Truman Show where, he wanted to be Magellan, but everything was discovered. So his ambitions are deflated.
Yeah.
Well, if the world is so big and you can't tell stuff, you're just like, I'm not going to even try.
Right.
But I just think that's the biggest spin that we're given, that we need to reconsider and call BS on that. So I'm calling BS on the degree. I think that the degree would have to be quite significant, especially if you think about, say, for instance, the Chicago skyline. It should be 1,600 feet beyond the curve. Well, if you just think about 1,600 feet curved away from you, I mean, just think about that abstractly.
Yeah.
That's got to have a degree that's really significant. It would be completely leaning away from you at an obtuse angle.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started there. The same thing would be said with clouds, with airplanes. I mean, clouds would be tougher to notice, but planes, absolutely. Planes, if you had the right sort of lens, planes should look like they're diving into the ground once they get to a certain distance away from you. And they don't.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good point. They just go off and off and off until they get to be a single pixel, and then they just poof, then they're gone. Yeah. I mean, everyone uses the ships as an example, but it's like, look, that's just on the ground level. It's the stuff in the sky that you can really, seriously, between the clouds and the planes, they don't have a leg to stand on. You get about 30 seconds till we go to music. Any closing remarks?
No, I'm good. Shout out to Nathan Oakley again, and check it out. You'll be dumbfounded.
Definitely.
Really impressive.
Kudos to him. I didn't realize that Mick West actually called into his show. I don't know if the guy was prompted or if he did it spontaneously, but if he did, that's a great sign for us. All right. Phone number to call in when we come back from break is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998, or the old number works fine too. And just like that, they're the Russians. Here comes the music. 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
No hate, no hype, no fear. Real people, real radio.
Welcome back to Strange World Part 2 of 4. It's the call-in show. Number is 213-233-3998. And we have people on the phone right now. Let's pick up this one from Alhambra, California. And I bet you it's Josh, Flat Earth Uber. What's going on, man?
What's up, bro? How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Are you going to be attending this meetup here in a couple days?
Dude, of course, man.
Well, I figured since it was
You guys are gonna be.
right down the road from you.
Well, it's right down the road from my grandparents' house, not from me.
Oh,
Technically, I still live in Riverside, so.
got it.
But either way, it doesn't matter, dude. It's all good. I think I've been toying with the idea of meeting you guys out there for that test, just because I'm kind of with Jaren on that one. I don't want them to screw it up.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, because there's two things happening here, and neither of them put us in a good light. One, you've got a skeptic society running the test. And so the second they see any sort of distortion, they're going to claim it's curvature, right? It's a rookie who's doing this. The guy that's doing the test, look this guy up if you get a chance. His name's Jim, I believe it's Jim Underdown. And he really specializes in the paranormal. He's an atheist. He is a secular humanist. He does not believe in God at all. And he specializes in like debunking ghost hunters, that sort of thing. So, and he's got like $100,000 challenge out there for anybody that can prove that they have paranormal powers or anything like that. And whatever, it's a small group, but he's the one that's from what I know, he's the one that's working on this test. And then there's another guy they're going to interview, but I don't think he's going to be part of the test, and I don't think he's going to be debating anybody. And he's one of the co-chairs of a PhD in astrophysics out at UCal Irvine. So between, and National Geographic, nothing against those guys, but they had, if they're going to be editing this footage, we need to have flat earthers there to watch it for ourselves. So yeah, I know Jaren's going to be at the test. I know Rob Skiba's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Patricia's going to be there. I'm sure there's other people from the meetup are going to be there. The only question is, how early do you?
Nathan said something about wanting to be at the test as well.
Oh, sure. If he can be there, I mean, you got to remember, it's dawn on Sunday. So whatever dawn is, June 8th, or I'm sorry, June 10th, it's got to be early. I mean, it's going to be between 4 and 5 in the morning. And the reason they're doing that is because they want as little heat on the water as possible. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it because, the desert's going to soak up a whole bunch of heat during the night. But whatever, it's the only body of water they've got in that area. So, and it's not a short drive. Salton City is a couple hours outside of LA. So, whatever. There's, I know it's the worst place ever to do a test. Worst place ever,
dude. Okay, so have you ever heard of a place called Slab City?
No.
Slab City is a completely off-grid city, and it's over by Salton Sea. And I heard about this place like years ago, and it looks like a bunch of redneck people living out in the desert, like off-grid with like solar panels and crap. Okay.
Yeah.
And they live on like an abandoned like old army base where they used to test like nukes and stuff.
That's awesome.
So it's seriously right on the other side, like where Salton City is. It's like diagonal across the lake from what it looks like on the map.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's
so basically on the other
that's gonna be
on the other side of the sea is basically the inspiration for the video game Fallout 3. Yeah, that's great.
Pretty much.
Can't wait.
But so what I wanted to chat with you about real quick though, besides the meetup, is did you catch that stupid asteroid they said that flew over South Africa the other day?
No. Did they have video on it?
Okay. I've seen 2 videos on it. And it's kind of got us earlier today digging into asteroids. And I was wondering, like, well, whoever's been hit by an asteroid, right? So I looked it up. You will not believe the people that have claimed to have been hit by meteors and asteroids.
And lived to tell the tale.
Like the woman who in 1954, this woman says that a meteor crashed through her roof and hit her while she was in bed. And she still has the meteor. She survived. How the hell do you survive that? There's a kid that says that a meteor hit his hand while he was walking home from school or something. When you looked at his hand, do you know what his hand looks like? Looks like he did that eraser challenge, bro.
Seriously?
Yeah. There's another one in the 70s where a guy says that a meteor the size of like a softball that's square hit his car in the back, right, while he was driving. Looking at all these sizes of these meteors, it made me think, like, okay, what about the meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs that they try to say, right?
Exactly, yeah.
They say that that was 6 miles wide and created like 100-mile wide hole.
Okay.
And that's what I was taught about meteors, right? That's what we were all taught, is that even if a meteor the size of a basketball hit the ground, it's going to leave a hole like the size of a city, right? That's what we were taught.
Yeah. Kinetic energy. It's massive. Yeah.
Right? So how in the hell are these people surviving this? Because regardless of them being hit, what about when it hits the ground and blows up like a freaking mortar round?
Yep.
So it's just between that and what was it, space.com talking about stars being sucked into black holes and stuff like that. Instead of a bunch of crap on the internet.
Oh, did you hear, by the way, that Elon Musk's flight, remember he was supposed to send 2 tourists around the moon this year, that has been delayed. Yeah. Not surprising. And he might even be fired as the CEO of Tesla. Just it'd be kind of ceremonial because he doesn't really do anything there, but they're thinking of firing the coach in this case.
I actually just read something, I think it was earlier this morning or yesterday, about Tesla employees and Tesla, the guys that run the centers, like in the malls and stuff, just for you to go put your Tesla together, right?
Yeah.
The guys that run that manage those, they're all being screwed by the Tesla company. Like, apparently, as expensive as Teslas are, their company doesn't pay all that great working for them. They work like slave labor and stuff like that.
Any party notes?
No, dude. I'll just see everybody at the meetup on Friday. Hey, are those guys from Beverly Hills ever going to show up?
I don't know.
We've had like 5 meetups, and
good point. The Beverly Hills guys, they probably should show up to this thing. I mean, it's in Arcadia. There's media that's going to be there. I would show up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, all right, boss. I'll get off the phone. Let you get some more calls.
All right. Talk to you soon, man.
Have a good night, man.
All right. Bye. All right, let's move on to 425 area code. That's up in my neck of the woods. 425, you're on with Strange World, and we're talking whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, hey, Mark. I guess you know this number. This is a hijacker. Am I coming through okay?
You are coming through okay. How's it going, man?
Oh, pretty good. You still hold the title, Mark, the hardest working man in flat Earth. You've held it. I had to laugh at that guy that called first. You just wonder why somebody who's so indoctrinated with the globe, what attracts them to a show like this, where he was just calling to try to mock you.
It's okay. Again, I wish that more people would call that had an opposing view. I really do. But unfortunately, they don't. And it was okay. I get it. And, he was even fessed up to say, oh, yeah, he called Jaron, too. I don't know who else he's poking around with. But I get it. And I can't. You got to remember, it'd be hypocritical for me to get really bent out of shape because I used to be that guy. So you can say whatever he wants. Like, okay, some people it takes a little bit longer. I don't mind.
Yeah, well, actually, you handled it well. First, I just want to let everybody know that human beings only see about 17% with their eyesight. We don't see thermal. We can't see at night. We're literally blind as a bat. So you're right about that. The eyesight of human beings, it really is poor compared to other animals. But I did want to make mention, you did react to the guy right about mentioning the Elon Musk what was it,
SpaceX.
Tesla car?
Yeah, the
Something. Right.
Tesla Roadster in space. Yeah.
Right. So he hits you with one thing, and that's what I've learned sort of as a flat Earth master warrior, is that, and I guess I'm becoming the sort of the evil flat earther, because when I find these type of people, there's so much information that I like to almost mock them. Yeah. Like, you run into somebody, well, haven't you seen the curve? I've looked out the airplane. Mm-hmm. And you'll say, well, the window's curved. Oh, the window's curved. And I'll say, well, you do know that you're only at 35,000 feet. Right. And at NASA, you can look it up for yourself. You can't really see the curve, they say, until you get up to 65 or 70,000 feet. Yeah. So you're going against science. Right. So anyways, you load up on them on that type of thing, or like the sun, to talk to one potential family member. And, was talking about how far we walked outside, and I said, that star is not that far away. Mm-hmm. And he goes, oh, no, it's billions of light years away. And I says, well, you know the sun, right? It's how big it is, like a million times the size of Earth. Okay. And he goes, yeah. I said, well, do you see how big it turns into 93 million miles away, how big it is in the sky? Do you know what 1 light year is? Yeah. Yeah, I said, that would be, you're talking, you wouldn't even be able to see it. No. And he goes, well, that's why it's a pinpoint of light. Right. And I says, no, do you realize if there was one speck of dust in every square mile?
Not to mention an asteroid belt or another planet. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. So whenever you argue with them, if you just load up that information, I mean, it's just like you can literally crush them. So it's a goal. So anyways, I was going to do a shameless plug, Mark, but I guess I'm not going to do it. I got a new show, and because it's on another network and kind of it's competing against the owners. So I don't want to go into it, but I'm more or less sort of a Zen Garcia type disciple. Okay. It is called the Dark Side of Purgatory, and it mixes flat Earth, ancient writings, serpent seed line, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. But anyways, they'll have to hunt it down for themselves. Okay. But anyways, you do a great job, and the other thing I'm noticing, Mark, and what you ought to hit this guy with, or somebody else, mm-hmm. is that latest poll that came out of millennials, 10,000 people. Two-thirds of them, only two-thirds believed that the Earth was a spinning ball.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I know that one. The original article was from u.gov, and I think it was 8,000 and change. But what was interesting about that poll was that it was not an American poll. It was Britain's calling America. So it was a British group that was polling Americans. And the 18 to 24-year-olds, again, of course, they're more pliable, which is, maybe it's not. And a third of them believe that maybe it's not a globe. That's a fantastic number. That means there's millions of people just out of the gate, just in that demographic. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why you reign as number one, a hard worker. You take the title in Flat Earth because you got all this information. But you're right. If you extrapolate out the numbers through the American society, Mark, we're coming up on 100 million people. I mean, this thing is going to. You're right. I never believed it before. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say, if you guys want to check the numbers yourself, there's one number that I watch very, very closely, and that's the relevant search results in YouTube. And if you type in Flat Earth, and you say sort by upload date, because that's the only algorithm with any consistency on there, it comes in at 20.8 million. And Donald Trump, and we, again, as of this morning, Donald Trump, 20.8 million. I didn't think we were going to catch him this year. And here we are in June.
Wow.
And we caught him. And it's fantastic.
Wow,
now,
I remember the first of the year. Yeah. Remember the first of the year, your prediction? Your prediction was 5 million.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Well, not at the beginning of the beginning of this year, but the beginning of I just kept, but it's exceeded my expectations by leaps and bounds, because I didn't know Bob from Globebusters turned me on to the filter by upload date, and it was amazing because you type in the same thing with NASA. NASA comes in at 7. I'm sorry, NASA comes in at 9. National Geographic comes in at 7. The Beatles come in at 14. Lady Gaga comes in at 16. And we're crushing them. The only people we're not beating right now are Goliaths. Like Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, Disney, and Star Wars. That's those basically the ones that we're looking up. We're chasing them down now. But normally I'd say
and
like
we don't even know. Yeah. Yeah, we don't even know if they're messing with the algorithms. If they're messing with the numbers on YouTube. But yeah, and I also noticed just the conventional mainstream advertisement for this network. Mm-hmm. I would have never thought it. Here you got a Flat Earth Strange World show for 2 hours, mm-hmm. and I'm hearing like mainstream advertisements on your network. Sure. It's like I never thought, Mark. You said that eventually mainstream's got to turn and they've got to deal with it, and that basically it's the third rail of conspiracies and they can't touch it. And when they do, it doesn't matter how they spin it. Like this last, and it was this documentary that I think you were in.
Right. Behind the curve. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter how they spin it. You can't touch flat Earth because once you touch it, you get cooked. But anyway, great show, Mark. Oh, yeah, always. And so, yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Anyways, keep up the good work, Mark.
Right.
Thanks so
man.
much.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, so let's jump over to, I don't know how many we're going to get before the break. I'm looking at 910-281-808. Let's do, 808's probably going to have to wait. That's in Hawaii, and I don't know if it's long distance, but you're going to have to wait for a little bit. Let's go 910. 910, you're on with Strange World right now.
Hey, Mark, how you doing? It's Jake from North Carolina.
Hey, it's going pretty well. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, man? All right. I got 3 quick things. You can probably do a whole show on them, and then I have a quote for your first caller. Okay. First thing, I'll be real quick. Meteor showers. Let's take, for instance, Geminid meteor shower. Every December, every year. The 4th through, I think, the 16th, we see these. I have a theory, and I think I'm right.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm right. I believe the pattern, I believe this is a light show. These things are not coming to the Earth. I heard Josh, but these things are not coming to the Earth. This is a light show. It's the pattern of the lights, I believe, is the same every year. So what I'm saying is the movement of the lights and how many lights there are moving, I believe it's the same pattern every year. Ooh. I do not believe it's different little rocks coming down. I know this is not mentioned, and I think you need to spend a whole lot of time on it.
Okay.
I think we need to fast forward this whole thing that's going on above our heads and actually look at the story. The second thing I have is barometric pressure or air pressure. I think we need to really do a show on that, and I have a lot of interesting things on that. But third thing, a lot of my friends, Native Americans, Native Americans, we call the dogs that have a blue eye and a brown eye, we call those spirit dogs. And the reason we call them that is because the belief is held that these dogs can see heaven and earth at the same time.
Ooh, I like it.
Now, so this is my thing. You can look at it with goats, dogs, whatever you want to, or human beings. These animals or these people from cold, higher elevations have blue eyes. People with lower elevations, warmer climates, brown eyes. Same with the animals. So I want to know if anyone knows any biblical text or extra biblical text before the Tower of Babel that mentions different eye colors. I haven't found one. The quote
you
I'll
mean
give to your first caller.
Text that was earlier in the Bible than the Tower of Babel? Because I think, wasn't Babel Genesis?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is there any mention of eye color? Now, there's mention of shape of the eyes. There's mention of shape of the eyes, but different eye colors before the Tower of Babel. Because I believe that's when the eye colors were, along with the tongue. But here's my quote for the man, and this is my end game for it, sir. All the high places will be brought low. All the valleys and low places will be brought high. All the crooked places will be made straight. All the rough places will be made plain. And everyone will see the glory of the Lord. That's the end game.
Well done.
You'll all see it. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. All right, let's grab. I think we can grab. You know what? I'm going to do this. I hate to do this to you, Houston. You're going to have to hold on for a little while. I'm going to pick up Hawaii, and then we'll go to our second break. 808 Honolulu. You were on with Strange World.
Aloha, Mark.
Hey, aloha.
And Teresa.
Hey, we did it. We got on. And
Yeah, I wasn't going to make it way too long.
Oh, you're wonderful. Your Salton Sea experiment reminds me of the experiments that Terra Convexa, those guys did in Brazil. And I wondered if you saw that documentary, and they had 7 proofs that they showed.
I did. And I actually enjoyed the documentary, even though it was dubbed in English, and I think it was dubbed in 3 different languages. You guys know what we're talking about. There was a Brazil team that did a big flat Earth kind of. It was kind of like a poor man's version of Ancient Aliens type of thing, but with flat Earth. And I thought the first hour was great. They did the edits and how they were shooting multiple experiments and shooting across the water, both daytime and nighttime with lasers, and the building GPS stuff. That was all great. Then they kind of, I don't know if they they didn't know how to end it, but they kind of did sort of a teaser of what the Earth looked like, sort of an asteroid, a lumpy asteroid floating in space with 2 pools of water in it. And they really didn't spend any time on it. And they kind of hinted that there could be video footage of them going, yeah, all right. It was okay. Did it hurt us? No. Would it have hurt us if it was an American production? Probably, because the backstory on those guys, unfortunately, there's a clip out there where they were talking to an alien that was hiding in the bushes who was speaking Portuguese, and it was called Bibu, I believe. It even had a name, Bibu or something like that. But other than that, it was fine. It was good exposure. It didn't actually get that much traction out there in the media. Maybe it was because it was from South America. But I didn't hate it. I thought it's like, look, any production is not necessarily good production, but it's more content. It adds to the metrics, so I'll take it.
Wonderful, because that other land beyond the ice wall, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They didn't have great pictures.
No, they didn't.
But I was like, was that what Admiral Byrd, I'm saying his name right, that's what he found?
Well, that's just it. What did Byrd find? What did Byrd and the United States Navy find that spooked everybody so badly that they had to build the Antarctic Treaty, and the treaty that's still unbroken to this day, to where no corporation or government can set up shop economically down in Antarctica ever till the end of time. And could it be that, that they were kind of extrapolated and saying that's the land beyond the poles? Yeah, maybe it gets people thinking, and I'm all for that. So that's fine.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then Teresa here has a question for you.
Okay, Teresa, go, because you got about a minute 45 seconds. Go.
Oh, man, I'm getting good at this. Quick ones.
Yeah.
Yes, just curious if anyone out there, if you've seen this cookie video, please email Mark, because I'm still looking for it, and I'm about to try to figure it out how to make my own. But it's an amazing proof that is a guy, he's saying in the video, I've got the quickest flat Earth proof going, and I swear it's in less than 60 seconds. He takes a cookie and a white piece of paper on a black table, and he shows how our time would not work if we were actually orbiting around a sun as our Earth is spinning, because it's the spinning, right, that is supposedly what creates the time zones. Right. We're the passage of time.
Right.
And so basically he shows if you take the Earth and you move it from, say, 12 o'clock on the screen, and you move it to 9 o'clock on the screen around a sun, that there's no way that couldn't affect that we would notice a difference in what time the sun would come up based on orbiting around it. If we really went 360 all the way around this sun that is our light source, that is what we change, with daylight savings time
20
and
seconds.
time zones. But essentially he's saying that it would, that the sun would be coming up at a different time. The time would be affected by the orbiting around it. There we go.
All right. If somebody knows where this video is out there that uses a cookie for an example, please let me know. And with that, the music is now playing. So aloha to you guys. We'll talk next time.
Hello.
Bye, guys.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number one. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Major Kong. Major Kong. Primary target the ICBM complex at Laputa. Switch all receiver circuits to CRM discriminators. What's cooking on the threat board? Nothing. Alright, tell you what you better do, old buddy. You better give Elmo and Charlie a flash, man. Bump everything up to condition ready. Stand by the floor on your bed. Major Kong. Major Kong. Hey, what about Major Kong?
Clear and plain and coming through fine.
What about
It's great to be fine.
What about Major What's happened? You see the string in my leg scar. What about Major I never told you. Hey, what about Major Kong?
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It is a call-in show, and we got calls coming in from all over the place. Just took one from Hawaii. Love to get with some from overseas eventually. And hang on here. We got Peanut Galleries sending me... Nope. This is Mark from New York. He is sending me some pictures that I don't think are appropriate. All right, let's pick up a call. Let's do 281 area code. Could be Houston, may not be. We'll find out. 281, you're on with Strange World right now. What are we talking about?
What's going on, Mark Sargent? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about you?
All right, man. I called in a few weeks ago. It was my birthday. You wished me happy birthday, man.
All right.
Just listening to the show. Yeah, man. You know, Lana, you know, Archer. But I saw something. I got a few things, sir. I saw something. It was on May 2nd, and it was Eric Dubé and Eddie Bravo. It was like a 3-hour special or whatever, and they had him on coming live from somewhere, and he got to talking about flat Earth. And like, did you see that?
Yeah, that was last year. Where I think it was early last year, where Eddie Bravo brought Eric Dubé in from Thailand, and he was coming in through Skype, and the connection was not very good. And they talked for some time, and Eric. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got kind of frustrated halfway through when they it seemed like they were kind of trying to lowball you or whatever about the flat Earth meetup, and for some reason he didn't want to mention, didn't agree with the dome or whatever.
Right.
The dome, you know, or whatnot. And I said, how could you not, believe that? So I mean,
he wouldn't be alone. There are a number, again, it doesn't, as long as you don't believe in the globe, I don't really care. But there are, I think my best guess is about 70-30 dome versus no dome. And so that means there's quite a few people that don't believe in a dome, but it doesn't really matter. Even if you don't believe in a dome, fine. If you believe in it, it's a flat, infinite plane, fine. Again, it's not the globe, which is why we're kind of the analogy I used was that we're kind of like the clans of the Scottish Highlands, where we've got a bunch of different flags flying around, and we'll take shots at each other every once in a while. But at the end of the day, we all know across the field from us are the English, and we hate the English. In this case, across the field from us are the globalists, and we don't necessarily hate them. We just want them to see things our way. So, yeah.
Okay. And another thing, when are we gonna have? When you gonna have a flat Earth meetup in Houston, Texas, man? I want to meet up with you and Patricia Spear, man.
It's probably. I don't know when the next one's going to be. Patricia's already done, I think, a couple in Houston. You know, she lives down there.
Yeah, I know. I missed it. You know, I just
That's all right. That's all right.
Into it. And
I'll tell you what.
You have
maybe,
to let me know when you're coming into town.
Maybe when the weather gets cooler, a little bit cooler, we will do one down there. Maybe I will fly down and visit Patricia. And
that won't be until November.
Is it really hot all the time? Come on, like September. It's got.
So we don't have a spring. It jumps straight from. We have a semi-winter and then it goes straight to summer. I mean, I'm sweating right now like R. Kelly at a Girl Scout meeting. I mean, it's 90 degrees outside. I mean, seriously. I mean, I gotta blow the AC and it's literally dark. It's humid out here. It's like you're walking in a sauna, literally. Houston is extremely hot. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll come up with something. But there's definitely stuff happening down in Houston, and there have been a bunch of meetups in Texas. But yes, we don't worry. There'll be one in your area soon, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of flat earthers here in that H-town. And one more thing, I've been catching up with Archer, man. I kind of like this new Danger Island season, but I don't know. I like Krieger. I miss Krieger as a scientist. I mean, Cracker's the parrot, it's cool, but I miss Krieger as a scientist, you know, inventing stuff.
Krieger's probably my favorite character, although you know a show is good when you have a hard time picking a favorite character. And just so you know, yep. Just so you know, and I've been kind of falling into that on accident, or through conditioning, where I have not watched any of this season yet. I'm gonna binge watch when it's over. I think I'm just gonna buy it because I haven't bought any of the Archers. I've downloaded them probably in ways I shouldn't have, but I'm gonna give them their credit. I'm gonna pay for it at the end of this year and buy the DVD set, I think.
Well, I got all 7 seasons on my computer on my flash drive, and I'm going to do season 8. My mom records it for me every Wednesday over off of Comcast cable or something.
Nice.
So, but it seems pretty cool. But you know, like I say, my favorite. They need to come out with another Archer Vice, man, where they're flipping the bricks.
Archer Vice was outstanding. If you guys don't know what we're talking about here, currently the best written show on television is an animated show called Archer, and about a spy agency gone horribly wrong in so many ways. And it is voiced amazingly. The animation is amazing. The storyline, the writing though, is just top notch.
It's epic.
The running gags. Go ahead.
Yeah, and besides Archer's mother, she has the best one-liners, and she always keeps a drink on her, just making me die. I can't remember. That made me think when you said, you're like, oh, you go to NASA or whatever. You go to NASA, you don't believe it? That's where the Germans recruited them. Then you just, whoop, the Heil Hitler, they just rise up. It is true, man. Oh, my goodness, man.
Yeah, I
just
love it. All right, man.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
But that's all I needed, man. It's good to hear from you, man. I'm just going to continue to listen, man. And, you know, let me know when you're in Houston, Northside Acres Home, giving a shout out. And I even got my brother listening to you. And he's the one who put me on the fake moon landing back in the 90s. I didn't believe him. I thought he was crazy.
Right.
Sitting there listening. But, yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in. We will talk again soon.
All right. Krieger out.
Krieger out. Yep. All right. Let's jump over to, what is this? 812 area code? 812, you're on live with Strange World right now.
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Hey, it's going pretty good. What's going on with you?
Oh, not much. This is Chris Lewis from Seymour, Indiana. I don't know if you ever heard of that place. It's actually the hometown of John Mellencamp.
Really? Well, is in Indiana you got a few celebrities out there. In fact, I was just thinking of one today and you'll know this one, from French Lick, Indiana. Oh,
yeah, I've been there a few times.
Yep, that is the birthplace and home of Larry Bird, Hall of Fame basketball player and one of the few white basketball legends in the game.
Oh, yeah, everybody's heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, about I'd have to say you're the main guy that got me started on the flat Earth movement, and telling you, since I watched your videos, I haven't been able to stop watching all of them.
Oh, I don't know if I'd recommend that. I think there's aside from the promos, which you don't have to watch, but yeah, there's a lot of content out there. This is episode.
Yeah, well, I follow.
Go ahead.
The Bob a lot, Globebusters.
Globebusters, yeah.
Yeah, and Jeranism, of course.
Of course.
But those are the main ones I follow, is Bob and Jeranism. So.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's a lot. I have 151 Strange World episodes as of tonight. The Clues, of course, all the episodes with Patricia Steer on Flat Earth and their hot potatoes. The subject matter expert testimony stuff that I do off the side. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, my channel's got a lot of content right now. If my channel went down for some reason, it would take so long to get everything back up there. Oh, it would take a long time.
Oh yeah, well, I've actually watched all your videos. Finally, like all of them.
What?
Especially all the subject. Yeah, I've watched them all.
Holy smokes, that's worrying.
Yeah,
me.
like well, I mean, I might get off work, about every day. I might watch one or two when I get home from work. But the most interesting one I've seen to date is the valve expert guy you had on, and talking about how the ISS wouldn't work. Because I did a lot of vacuum work when I was in heating and air construction, especially. I did heating and air and like vacuum work for Pepsi Cola for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So I understand about the vacuum and the seals and just how it could not work at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of my favorites too, and it was kind of a delayed reaction for me because I didn't understand it. But now, which is why I made Clue 13. Look, the power of a vacuum, and I know nerds are going to say it's not called the power of a vacuum. I don't care. It's no joke. It is no joke. You're talking about not just high atmosphere, not just high pressure versus low pressure. Like if you have a balloon in your hand, right? It's higher pressure inside the balloon. It's lower pressure outside the balloon. That's why it expands, right? It's trying to equalize. But if you're talking high pressure versus no pressure, oh man, that is way different to where, it's not like a half atmosphere. It gets crazy to where, the vacuum expert that hang on, the peanut gallery is shooting me an email. He's saying Dyson or Shark vacuum. Oh, that's funny. The thing that I liked was the vacuum expert that came on some months later, or I think it was even a year and a half later. He was making clean rooms for electronics and clean chambers, and he goes you have no idea the amount of horsepower that you have to create, have to use to create a almost a pure vacuum. In fact, you can only get to 99%, and that last 1% has to be done chemically. There isn't enough horsepower in the world to take it out mechanically. And yeah, as soon as I heard that, I'm going, yep, the astronaut suit is a piece of crap. It absolutely cannot work the way people say it does, because it's a bag of air, and a bag of air cannot function inside a vacuum. It'd be like standing inside a balloon that was form-fitted to your body. It'd be like a blow-up doll, a balloon that's shaped like a person, only it'd be so tight that you wouldn't be able to do anything. You wouldn't be able to move your arms, your legs, your hands, your fingers. You wouldn't be able to do anything. And yet here we see these guys articulating all sorts of motion, playing golf, bending over, fixing cars. Oh yeah, there's no limit to what they can do. So I'm sorry, that's my little rant for this evening.
Plus, a lot of people say, well, we need to build a vacuum chamber on Earth and then run tests that way. What they don't understand, what Brian Mullen was talking about, is like, well, you can't do it anyway because it's not even going to be comparable to space, because you can make a vacuum in a chamber. Well, it's in a chamber. It has walls. Space doesn't have walls. It's supposedly ever expanding, and it just, you can't even recreate it if you wanted to. So it's never going to be testable if space even existed. So who knows?
Exactly. Oh, yeah. And the people that, in fact, I heard an argument recently where they were saying, in fact, they were arguing with Dell from over in Scotland, where they were trying to convince him. It's like, well, there's this pressure gradients, right? And I'm going, okay, pressure gradients work in a pressurized enclosed system. But if you're talking about, again, the open atmosphere of the Earth, if you believe in this, versus the infinite no pressure area of space, we're talking about one versus a million. There's no atmosphere that could ever, I don't care what gravity you've got on that planet. The vacuum would be the pressure equalization would be pulling from all sides, that it'd be gone. It'd be gone instantly. And I challenge anyone. It's like, look, tell me where the bleeding edge of the atmosphere is, where it goes into space. Tell me where that works. Tell me the gases that are there, and tell me how nitrogen and oxygen stay down here. And they, I'm sorry, I get passionate.
Yeah, it never work. It would just suck it right off this.
Yeah.
Whatever this is, flat, plane, but there has to be some kind of solid barrier. You just
exactly.
Have the two next to each other. It's not possible. I mean, there's no way.
You can get pressure gradients if it's enclosed. Absolutely, you can. And it's big enough. Then you can have things thin out all the way at the top, and then you have the barrier. Plain and simple. That's not hard to do. But if you're talking about the infinite, endless nothingness of space, sorry, there's no gradient there. Space wins if that's the case.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Say you got a spaceship in space they say they use liquid oxygen or something to move their shuttle around, it sprays out and it moves them. Well, as it sprays out, it's just going to expand with the universe, and it's not going to do anything because it don't have anything to push off of, or it can't build any kind of pressure difference. So
yeah, for those people who don't know what we're talking about, and I love the little meme that was made for this, and that is, okay, people, when you're running, your feet are pushing off the ground, right? Propellers are pushing against the water on a boat, and even a jet airplane, which is just really, really fast propellers, is pushing against the air, that it's in. It's basically a thin version of water. But if you're in space, what are you pushing off of exactly? Because every action has to have an equal and opposite reaction. So what are you pushing off of? You're not pushing off of anything. And that's one of the points. Just one of the points. There's so many things I could use to tear apart space, but we just don't.
There's just so many.
We don't have the time, and unfortunately, I've got to pick up a call from California. Any closing remarks from you?
Oh no, just thanks for doing what you do, and you and Jaronism and Bob have really, because I never thought in these terms at all before this. I love the friggin' History Channel and all their bull crap shows and all their animation, and now I can't even stomach it when I won't even watch the History Channel, National Geographic, none of it. I can't even stand it. It's so fake, and it's just, you can just tell it's fake now.
It's going to be interesting with me because I know they're going to try to be objective during this test down there, but at the same time, can they be objective? It's a science channel, kind of a science channel.
I doubt it. I think they're going to kind of look down on you, but
they might. They might. That's fine.
You got to start somewhere, right? So.
Yep, you do. All right, man. Hey,
all right. Well, thanks for taking my call, buddy. Have a good night.
All right, you
too.
too.
Bye.
Bye. All right, let's jump right over because we got about 9 minutes till the final break. Let's go to 916 area code. 916, you're on the air, Strange World. What are we talking about? Do I care? And are you an attractive blonde?
I'm gonna have to say yes to all three. Wait, number one wasn't a question. What are we talking about? Okay, there goes the blonde hair right there.
So you admit you are blonde and you are calling from California.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, I am.
What's up?
So I'm going to throw a little curveball for the show. It kind of has to do with flat Earth, but
that's fine.
So, regardless of the shape of the Earth, which I do know it is flat. I think we could all agree that let me ask you this: if you, regardless of the shape, if you knew there was something that everybody was doing that they could stop and that they should stop for health reasons, for moral reasons, and it would save the Earth from pretty much complete destruction by the year 2040, I think, would you agree that it probably motivates you to quit doing that?
You don't even have to segue that for me. Insert your environmental message here. What would you like us to change about ourselves?
Okay, and let me ask you something else. Do you know how much water it takes to produce 1 pound of ground beef or 1 pound of meat?
Quite a bit. I do not know the stats, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on a documentary once.
That was going to be my next. Okay, for those who don't know, it's 660 gallons to produce 1 pound of beef. So that was going to be my next question. Have you seen Cowspiracy?
No, say it again slower.
Oh, have you seen that documentary, Cowspiracy?
Cowspiracy? No, I have not seen that.
Yes. Okay. So that is my homework for you and my challenge for anyone listening. I actually put it off for a while thinking that it was like going to be a bunch of cattle being slaughtered and all this stuff. And I grew up, for everybody that doesn't know this, I grew up, my parents still raise hay, they grow hay, they raise cattle, they raise pigs, and now I'm vegan. So they're just like, oh my God, I can't even believe this. But the Cowspiracy was a big motivating factor for me to continue the lifestyle. But if we want to see this flat Earth for much longer, everybody needs to pay attention to this. It's more than just, I don't even know, just whatever people want to think of vegans. It's way more than just one thing. For me, it's 3 things. It's for the animals, it's for my health, and it's for the environment. But this Cowspiracy goes through all how the meat and dairy industries are destroying the earth and the overfishing that's happening and how that is completely depleting. We all know it's being depleted, but it really gives you the science behind all of this. And it's very serious. Everybody needs to watch that. So my boyfriend does not believe in the flat Earth at all. He is playing with NASA's blue balls all freaking day long. He loves it. He's bathing in Windex with NASA. It's bad. Okay. So he needs facts. He needs studies. He needs peer review, double blind, all this stuff. Well, after he first watched What the Health with me, and then Cowspiracy, it did it for him. He looked at the studies. He looked at, this is like serious, good science that is out there for everybody to listen to, and why it's bad for us. The money that the pharmaceutical industry is making off of us goes way back into the 1800s. The money that the pharmaceutical industry is making off of us, and then the meat and dairy industries and the fishing industries, how they rely also on the farmers. They're funding a lot of research done by like the Diabetes Association, the Cancer Society, they're all tied together. And that What the Health will really dig into that. So all these truthers out there who love the truth, they want to dig for more truth, telling you right now, one of the biggest conspiracies is in what you are eating. And y'all need to look into it. And I'm dead serious. Like, What the Health and Cowspiracy, go watch them as soon as possible. And people call it bias, but what I've run into is the only people calling that what's biased is are farmers, nurses, and what's my other one? I forget. But the farmers, nurses, and people who just want to reject it right away because they aren't ready to change their lifestyle, which was me at first. But once you look at the facts, I don't think there's any going back.
All right.
So that's my spiel.
No, it's fine. Again, more power to you. I respect your opinion, and I'm not going to shoot it down. Sure, I know quite a few vegans and vegetarians.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's,
all right.
Because I want everybody to live long, good lives, and if I would have came across this information, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, I could have probably saved my grandpa's life. I firmly believe that. And if I would have came across this a year ago, I could have saved my grandma's life. She passed away in January. So if I can spread this information and save people, that's my goal.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And
yes, and I will keep it flat.
all right, keep it flat. We will talk soon, okay?
I will talk to you soon, Mark. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, let's jump over to, there's a couple of minutes left. I may have to keep him through the break. So let's jump over to a regular from 845 area code. I'm sure you guys can guess who it is now. Starting spreading the news.
Hey, Mark, how are you? Mark from New York, spreading the news. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Not bad, not bad. I love Michelle. She's awesome.
Yeah, Michelle's great.
You know, I've always been questioning. I mean, I know I will not stop eating meat and I'll die, but I've always wondered why we eat certain things. And, you know, I mean, these things have feelings and they're intelligent. And, you know, like people look at us, oh, we eat cows. But then we look at the Chinese and go, oh, they eat cats and dogs. And it's like,
right.
You know, I wonder if there is some conspiracy to that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I keep thinking of the Beef Council when Oprah went on television and said she was never going to eat a burger again, and she had the Beef Council lawyers on her so fast that they basically said, "You do this again, and we will attack you with so much litigation that even your empire the resources will be drained from it. You may win, but it will come at a huge cost." And that was it. She never said anything bad about beef again.
I was watching the new Lost in Space.
Wait, actually, you're probably going to have to hold that thought because we got like 20 seconds. You're going to have to stay through the break. You know what that means, right? You're going to have to sit and listen to commercials and crap like that. And when we come back from our final break, the number will be 213-233-3998. I will pick up 651 area code 510, probably 210 after that, and whatever we get to. So here we go.
It seems to me so strange. Check wallet for his name. His face is in the muck. I think his zipper's stuck.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
Strange World coming at you. Part 4 of 4. This is a call-in show. When we got calls lined up, we were speaking with Mark from New York, the man who has such a deep voice it probably could break glass from a deep way. What's going on?
Hey, Mark. Interesting commercial during the break there. One for this show called Strange World.
Yeah, I know.
Quirky, but I think I might check it out.
Yeah,
I think I might check it out.
I recorded that I think 3 years ago. So.
Wow. That was
oh wait!
cool.
Oh crap!
I
Oh crap!
don't
Oh
think
crap!
I've ever...
Hang on! Like Peanut Gallery saying, shame. Yes, that was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album Night and Day. Crap. Sorry. Yeah, that's why
I screwed that up.
That's why I got Peanut Gallery, lying around, because he keeps me from. And I holy smokes, Ginger Sugar Bush up in Canada would have been like, oh, he's not gonna say it. Joe Jackson stepping out from his album Night and Day. There you go, encore Joe Jackson, right there. So, I'm sorry, what were you talking about?
Fantastic. Oh, I was just saying I was watching the new Lost in Space, which is pretty good. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's all right. But one of the things I noticed in one of the scenes was the mother, she's trying to figure out something, so she gets on this contraption, and elevates herself up to 16,000 feet. She's looking out over the planet, and you can see what the curve would look like.
Okay.
And I just would love people, the ballers, to look at that and tell me, do you see anything remotely close to that when you're in the plane, which was higher than where she was in this particular scene.
Right.
But it was just so pronounced. And yeah, I thought it was a pretty neat little thing there. That's all. I just wanted to mention that. And as for your first caller this evening, I think he's a little confused because he's doing exactly the same thing we're doing. Trust is in a person. Faith is in a subject or what have you. So if he has trust in his scientists and then is believing the science, then he has faith in the science. That's the same exact thing that we're doing.
I agree, and I know where he was going with this. You know, he doesn't like that I throw out some religious terms from time to time. But let's face it, Flat Earth does have some similarities with a blossoming religion. And so, yeah, I'm going to throw out those terms because what other terms would I use?
Right. Yeah. And it's funny because I'm very not into religions or anything like that. Right. And Nathaniel, who very much is, and I respect that, is always telling me, boy, you're awfully Christian with that comment and this and that. And I'm like, well, you know, maybe there is something to it because I think just being a good person is what it all boils down to. And, you know, we're in here together. And I have a quote for him, too.
What?
His lack of faith disturbs me.
No.
We all know who that is.
That was Spock, right? No, I know.
Mr. Vader, yes, correct. No, I know you know.
Yeah, I know.
I know you know.
Too
funny.
I have a quote for you.
Okay.
Ready? It's by the Peanut Gallery. Sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple. That's from Dr. Seuss.
Wow.
Apparently he thought that a children's book was more your style. So,
hey, it's appropriate. Honestly, I mean, in most cases, everyone tries to overcomplicate crap. You know, you have 5 chalkboards of mathematics to, you know, prove that a peanut is salty or something. You know, I mean, just yes, simplify. I go that. I like that one.
Right.
Awesome. Hey, I'll let you go. I know you got other people. Yep. Love you, Mark. Keep it up. You definitely are the workingest fool in YouTube and Flat Earth that I've ever seen. Unbelievable. Keep it up.
All right, I will.
Thanks,
man.
All right. You're the man. You're the man. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
And shout out.
He says bye and then shout out and cut him off. That's awesome. That's great. Let's jump over without any remorse to 651 area code drawn with Strange World. Last segment. What do you got?
Hey, Mark. Long-time caller, first-time listener from Minneapolis. How you doing?
I am doing well. Really? What are we talking about?
It says Joshua, Authentic Intent.
Oh, hell, man. I did your promo today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I sent you that. Since we're on that topic, I just want to share that information with everybody. June 16th, Flat Earth Brewery. Where else would you have a Flat Earth meeting?
Exactly.
In Minneapolis, St. Paul, 4 p.m. Come one, come all.
Cool. And by the way, anybody can call in and plug their meetup. So, you know, what you can do that. Yeah, if anyone's doing a meetup, you want to call in and plug it, absolutely you can plug it. Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, so I just got done from hitting pavement with some Flat Earth stuff at the U. Went to the Twins game. I just got off the train, so I'm headed home right now. But I just wanted to call in and say hello to everybody out there, and just we got to keep pressing forward. You know, it's a tall hill to climb. You know, but there will be a light at the end of the tunnel, and we all know that railroads are flat. So you know that's good. It will be easy to see.
I see what you did there. Yeah, I mean, think about it. We had two things that came out very recently. One was an article in the New Yorker that was written. A guy, apparently one of the New Yorker's best writers, snuck down to the conference in Raleigh, and it took him 7 months to write that article. Don't know what he was sitting on for so long, but he finally did it and put it out. And then GQ magazine just put out a thing yesterday on the Flat Earth and the Behind the Curve film documentary. So, oh yeah, we're everywhere. And who'd have thought? It's like, yeah, GQ, New Yorker, whatever. Just throw it on the pile with the rest.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, big deal, right?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, National Geographic this weekend, whatever. Yeah,
yeah, right.
Two and a half years ago, I'd have been like, I was just screaming every time I saw anything in the media, and now, how big are they? Whatever.
Yeah. now it's lost its luster, right?
Yeah, we're so media spoiled now, and I know it'll just get better. Who knows what's going to happen in the next? I keep saying I'm never going to get surprised, and I'm wrong every time.
Well, let me be frank, and you can be Mark, and I'll just tell you that people at the Twins game tonight are vicious, man. I don't know what it is. It's just a different animal when people come out of a game or they're going to a game or whatever. It's just they have a different sense about them. They're plugged in.
Yeah.
They just took their blue pill, and they're just ready to just go in dumb mode for 3 hours, and then they come out, and I'm holding a sign that says, "What do you think about Flat Earth?" It's mockery, ridicule, literally name-calling, or they've never heard of it before.
Sure.
And,
look, I mean, you're also talking about the beer pill. Quite a few of them drink beer at the park. And remember, it's sporting events are kind of a unification thing where you're there. It's a community brought together, and they're somewhat unified when they come out, win or lose. And if they're looking for a target, unfortunately, sometimes you are it. I think you'd be better.
And win or lose, they drink alcohol.
Yeah, win or lose, they drink alcohol. I think you'd be better off at like a pub crawl where there's like a street where there's a whole bunch of activity happening. Even though there's a lot of alcohol there, people are much more open-minded, and it's like, yeah, man, what's going on? Hey, this guy over here, what's he talking about? But yeah, just enough alcohol in sports fans. Well, I mean, you know what happens in those games. I mean, if it was soccer, there'd be dead people already.
I know, right? Riots. Right. Flat Earth, really? They'd probably throw me in with the dogs.
Yeah,
for sure.
What'd you say? Yeah, what'd you say about our team? Yeah.
Yeah, right. What'd you say? Flat Earth? That's our team. Wait. But yeah, I've kind of set into a groove here recently. I've got a table that I'm doing pretty often at Lake Calhoun, and I think that's probably my go-to. It's more calm scenery. People are running around the lake, and if they want to come talk, they'll take 5 or 10 minutes, grab a red pill, grab a DVD, hear my spiel, and then they'll walk away. So. And I've had really good positive interactions and good response from the community too. Just trying to, have long suffering with some of these people. And sometimes it can be difficult, but, I've been into this game for a year in terms of street activism, and I just can't take any more crap, from people. I've had some good discernment in regards to, you're not ready right now, bud. I think we got to end the conversation. I've given you what I could. Take it with what you can.
Yeah, remember, man. You're not there to convince them. You're not there to persuade them. You're just there to throw the idea at them and see if it sticks. And everyone, they're rarely going to do it in front of you. It happens every once in a while, but rarely. Most of the time, they have to go home. They have to sit on it for a while, and it happens usually when they're alone. They're looking at something, and then it just clicks. It's like, wait a minute. What's happening? And then the whole world changes its color palette. So
well, you don't know what people think about moments before they go to bed, and so that's what I'm trying to do is just inception, have it seed planted. They'll see some water, and I kind of mentioned this at the end of my quote broadcast or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I just said, a lot of these people, they're gonna, they're not gonna take it seriously, because you type in flat Earth, what do you see the first 2 pages on YouTube or Google? And so if they really want to take it seriously, they have to dig a little bit further. And I've started to kind of say, I'd like you to kind of be agnostic. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I want to get you away from the sphere, Earth. Right. I want to get you away from that idea of outer space. And then I think we would have some common level ground to talk on, and be able to explore a little bit more.
Yep. I hear you. Any parting words? Because I'm going to pick up a few more before I shut down the show tonight.
No, yeah, do your thing. Just a reminder, June 16th, 4 p.m., Flat Earth Brewery. And I just appreciate, all that you've done in the community. I appreciate everybody else. Don't let any of the, criticism come at you, because we're all going to take heat for doing something that we know is the right thing to do.
Right.
So.
Right. All right, man. Keep fighting the good fight.
Thanks.
We'll talk soon. Okay.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Bye.
Yep. All right, let's jump right over to 210 area code. 210, you are finally on. Last segment. What is going on?
Mr. Mark, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing good. Played some pool with some friends.
Cool.
Outside.
Sounds very chill.
Thank you. It was. So you guys were talking about the flat Earth, right? Speaking of ideas, right?
Yeah.
I think, do you ever wonder if, I actually wrote my question, I typed it out.
You typed it out? Okay.
Because I was chilling.
Okay.
So do you ever just think the world is a projection of matter? Matter become ideas through collective observational ideal thought wave pressure? And by that I mean we're all projecting a certain reality that we can comprehend to our own comprehensive degree.
Right.
So, in a way, I feel like we're living in a cluster of projections, condensed by ideas of our, and our thought waves from just observing it.
That is one of the most complex thoughts I have heard from somebody. So it sounds so relaxed that it's amazing. I like it. I like where your head's at.
You like it?
Yeah, I do.
That's good. Yeah, I talked to a lot of engineers and physicists and theorists, so I get a lot of input from everyone, but there's always more to learn. And,
I mean, anyone, and I don't generally dwell on it because, hey, one world at a time, and I can only tell you the shape of this world. I can't tell you what it's made out of exactly. But the double slit experiment, if anyone has any doubt there, look up the double slit experiment and explain it to me, and explain how you can do it without using the word magic. Because
you're a recurring wavelength. We're all recurring wavelength.
Yeah.
And everything's a recurring wavelength charged by our ideas and our observation.
Like it.
Is my thought on it.
And, I am not going to...
It kind of goes with the holographic theory, I guess.
Yeah.
But different, it's not just it's got topology. Have you heard of topology?
Maybe. Maybe not in that... What's it about?
It's a study of energy transmission of through matter, from matter to mass.
Okay.
Because you have your electric charge, which is your mass.
Mm-hmm.
Your feelings, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And then you have your mass, or your matter, which is your potential mass, and your mass, which is your negative matter. And it's just a study of transition of energy, from atom, like on an atomic scale on up.
All right.
The whole infinity of microcosms and the infinity of macrocosms.
Tell you what, though, you're getting in so deep at this point that it would take us a long time to crawl out if we really delved into it. But thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's not going to be the last call of the night, but it's probably good because people will probably, end the show and go, "Holy smokes, man! What does it all mean?" But thank you.
You still have 10 minutes. Cool. Right on. I hope
you came across brilliantly. Considering you sound like your pulse is barely moving.
Little tipsy, but I'm all right.
Really, a little tipsy? A little tipsy? All right. For you, I'm going to have a drink. Anyway, thank you for calling in. I've got to knock out these last couple callers before the show ends. But call in again though sometime, okay? All right. From that, let's jump over to 304 area code. 304, you're on with Strange World. Top that.
Almost heaven, West Virginia. What's up, Mark?
You know what? I'll take it.
This is it's Lazy Fowler. Oh, working here, listening to the show. Great show.
Cool.
But I gotta pull a Rob Skiba on you real quick.
What are you gonna do?
You know the Earth's a ball, because we've got the Tower of Pisa, but it only works at one angle. Okay. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? I can't do the gerbil jumping off the wheel.
I wonder how long it took him to practice that sound effect from the 60s, from because that was used in so many cartoon shows. That whole thing he does.
Yeah, Crackerjack. Crackerjack.
I get to see.
I just want to call. I want to take too much.
Go ahead.
No, I just would call in and give a quick shout out to you and all the other veterans out there. Thanks for waking us up.
Yeah.
Now you're working right now, but anyway, good to finally get up with you. I might call in another time with some more goodies here and there. I know you got like 10 minutes left and a few more calls on the line.
Yeah, I do have a few more, but thank you. You were a nice lighthearted transition from the caller that was literally taking my mind into another dimension.
Yeah, well, I would go with the Pinocchio no strings intro, but I don't have that kind of voice right now.
Nice. All right, man. Hey, you have a good one, okay?
All right, you too, Mark. See ya.
Right, bye-bye. All right, let's jump over. This could be the last call, and it could be Eugene, Oregon. 541 area code. You got about 5 minutes, and then the show may wrap up. So what's up?
Hey, Mark, it's Reggie in Eugene, Oregon. How are you?
I am well. How are you doing?
Good. I've got some exciting things to tell you.
Okay, go.
Okay. I discovered something. I literally stumbled across it. It's called the Antikythera mechanism. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not.
You have to check it out. Antikythera mechanism. There's documentaries on it. There's like part 1 and part 2. Okay. So what it is, in a nutshell, do you want to hear it?
Sure. I mean, again, you got 5 minutes or 4 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. It's this ancient Greek mechanism that was discovered at the ocean's floor near Greece in an ancient shipwreck. Okay. Started out was these sponge divers were going down and, doing their fishing for sponges, whatever. And they freaked out because they saw these arms and legs all over the bottom of the ocean floor. So they came back up and like, oh, we're not going to do this anymore. And another diver went down, and actually what it was Greek statues, broken, arms, legs, blah, blah, blah. And so they started hauling all this stuff up from the ocean floor. And amongst the things they hauled up was this hunk of stuff that nobody knew what was because it's been down there for thousands of years.
Oh, wait. I know what this is. I know what this is.
Yeah.
This is the mechanism with all the gears that they can't figure out what it does.
Oh, yeah. No, they figured out what it does. This guy he's one of those like reverse engineering wizard type people. Okay. And he's a super math guy.
Yeah.
It can accurately predict lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, all the phases of the moon, the way the gears work and the way it goes together. It shows some real interesting stuff. And anyone who's curious about those kind of things would dig it.
I do know what you're talking about. It's one of those impossible machines that shouldn't have existed back in the day because there shouldn't have been anyone that could had the, who knows, maybe they were a savant. They could, put together just about anything. It's like, yeah, I think I can track this and do it with gears, but it's a fascinating device. You're absolutely right. Kind of encased in stone and lime, and I don't know if they'll ever be able to get all the crap off of it. But the X-rays, that's where it really was interesting because they X-rayed it, and it showed all this complex machinery. Yeah.
Right, and the gears were based on prime numbers. Really interesting stuff. So, like I said, the X-rays and things you're speaking of were passed on to this fella, and part of this documentary has him talking about how he reconstructed it based on, 2 years, I think he said, of studying it.
Yeah,
it's pretty fascinating.
I'm looking at the wiki.
Okay, I just wanted to leave you with that.
No, it's good. The wiki entry is fascinating. If you guys want to look it up, it's ANTIKYTHERA mechanism. And yeah, it is fascinating. Right. Fascinating stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'll keep you jonesing for days.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah. Okay, well, left you a voicemail because I'm needing some help trying to get a meetup going out down here in Eugene. And it's kind of scary, and I'm feeling all alone. So
really? Down in Eugene? You shouldn't have a hard time doing a meetup in Eugene.
Dude, show me.
Dude. No, I'm serious. I mean, meetups are easy. Literally, you just pick a place and send me the promo and just make sure there's contact information on it, and the rest writes itself. It's a piece of cake.
Okay. I've scheduled one for the Strawberry Full Moon. I put it on. I set up a meetup account, that meetup.com thing.
Strawberry. Well, send me the details in an email. So it's Strawberry Full Moon. Okay, when's it at?
The full moon.
Well, yeah, but you better hurry. You got a minute left.
Oh, like I can do the calendar that fast. Oh my goodness.
Pressure's on.
It's the 27th.
27th.
It's the 27th, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, 27th of June at the Strawberry what?
It's in the parking lot at Winco in Eugene.
All right. We'll get a promo together. Don't worry about it. And there's a big Oregon community of flat earthers. We'll get it.
Well, there's a bunch of people in Portland, but nobody seems to want to come down here. So I'm looking for people down here because I don't want to go to Portland.
We'll get them. Yeah. Anyway,
okay,
hey, we'll talk soon, okay?
Yeah, you bet. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Thanks for everyone that called in tonight. Next Tuesday, hopefully I am back. I'm going to the LA thing. But if I am not back, then it'll be a rerun. But if I am back, then I will be right here. Same flat time, same flat channel. See you guys.
Honor and privilege for us to be here representing not only the United